It's another record quarterly profit for Top Glove Corp. The world's largest glove maker saw its first quarter FY21 earnings surge by over 20 times to 2.38 billion ringgit. The sum exceeds the group's profit for the entire FY20. This as demand for medical gloves and selling prices remain high, and as high utilization levels amplify production efficiency. Sales were also robust, with volume up by 34% from a year ago. This was thanks to strong demand for gloves in both developing and emerging markets amid the COVID-19 outbreak. Quarterly revenue rose 294% to 4.76 billion ringgit, its highest ever. Top Glove declared an interim dividend of 16.5 cents a share. The glove maker, which has been ordered to temporarily shut 28 of its factories after thousands of its workers tested positive for COVID-19, remains optimistic on its outlook. It sees glove demand growing by 20% this year, 25% in 2021 and 15% annually post-pandemic. Previously, glove demand was growing at about 10% a year. India's conglomerate Tata Group will reportedly stop dues payments by AirAsia India to AirAsia Group if the Malaysian aviation group does not provide funding to their low-cost airline joint venture before December 31st, 2020. The Economic Times said this, citing recently added clauses in the AirAsia India shareholder agreement. According to the report, Tata will also start deducting the dues and setting them off against equity shares in AirAsia India if its JV partner is unable to bring in funds by subscribing to a rights offer of at least 300 crore rupees or about 166 million ringgit. It said the development highlights the strain that has emerged between the business allies in recent times. AirAsia India owes AirAsia Group 489 crore or 270 million ringgit as per its latest available financial statements. It was reported that this is on account of money it collected for selling tickets on aircraft operated by other AirAsia Group companies. According to the report, AirAsia India also uses services of AirAsia Group companies for maintenance of its aircraft and also procures consumables and in-flight magazines from the group. MyEG Services is planning to raise up to 407 million ringgit via placement. This is to fund the development of hostels for foreign workers under an ongoing project, develop healthcare-related services, and to buy fixed assets like kiosks for the online renewal of car and motorcycle road tax under its e-government concession business. The remainder will go towards working capital and the estimated expenses of this placement. MyEG intends to place out up to 220 million new shares that represent up to 6.29% of its total issued shares to third-party investors to be identified. While the actual issue price of the shares is yet to be fixed, the expected sum to be raised is based on the illustrative price of 1 ringgit 85 cent per placement share. The actual price will be determined by way of a book-building process and shall be fixed at no more than a 10% discount to the 5-day volume-weighted average market price of its shares prior to the price fixing date. Bousted Holdings and YTL Corporation are set to be weighing a sale of University of Nottingham, Malaysia. Citing sources, Bloomberg says the sale could value the education provider at about 500 million ringgit. It says Bousted, which owns about 66% of the offshore campus of the British University, is working with an advisor on the planned sale of its stake. According to its sources, YTL Corp, which holds a 4% stake in the learning institution, may tag along in the exit. The University of Nottingham holds the remaining 30%. The Malaysian institution has a 125-acre campus in Semenyih, as well as a teaching site in Kuala Lumpur. The Education Centre, which offers foundation-level courses through doctoral degrees, has around 5,000 students from more than 85 different countries. It welcomed its first students in September 2000. Bloomberg says deliberations are still early and there is no certainty that Bousted and YTL will proceed with the deal. The Ministry of Human Resources expects Malaysia's unemployment rate to continue trending downwards to 4.5% in December, from a peak of 5.3% in May due to job losses after the enforcement of the MCO. Human Resources Minister M. Sarawanan told the Dewan Rakyat that the jobless rate has been declining since its peak to 4.9% in June and 4.7% in July and August, based on the Department of Statistics Labour Survey. He added that the Labour Survey showed that those working in the aviation, hotel and tourism industries were the most affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. In September, the jobless rate improved to 4.6%, or approximately 737,500 unemployed, which he attributed to the various initiatives announced under the government's stimulus packages. He expects unemployment to continue declining through to 2021. Citing data from SOCSO, the minister said 120,296 people out of a total 372,934 job seekers have regained employment for the year up to November 27th.